Hey guys, my story today, I got a lot of messages when I got out of prison. I made a deal with the government that I wanted a few things. And I'll go through some of the things that I told you I asked for and what happened. One of the first things they did, they took me to a place, it was an Indian reservation somewhere, to meet a producer from ABC to talk about doing an interview with Diane Sawyer. They put us on the side and they were pretty cool about it. I mean, we were in this Indian reservation. It must have been 60, 70, 80 miles away from anything. So I guess they thought it was pretty safe. I wanted to smoke a cigar when I talked to this producer. She was a woman. And I went into the Indian casino, and they didn't have cigars. But they said a store down the road, you can get them there. Down the road was like 20-something miles away. So I got a cab, and we went there. By the time I got back, the marshals were going nuts. Obviously, they couldn't find me. They were panic-stricken. It was funny. Where'd you go? I want to get a cigar. I want to talk with her in the back, alone, near the pond. There was a pond, and smoke a cigar. So it was a little crazy, but that was the first shot. Then I went and beat Peter Moss. I went to Utah to meet him. They brought me to Utah. I talked with him. It's a great meeting. It's a little crazy. We went to a restaurant. I ordered a drink, a glass of wine. I had a couple of sips. He told me about this martini, the way they make it. I went to order that, and they said once you drank a certain drink, you couldn't get another one. They had all kinds of rules. And that was a little nuts. But the one that I was really looking forward to was the trip to California, in a really nice place in California, and they set this whole trip up for me. And we went there. We had our own little bungalow right on the beach. Waiters would come out and serve us. I mean, it was gorgeous. Really, really good. So I took a walk with Debra on the beach, water coming on our feet, just out of prison. I liked it. And I said, boy, they're doing a pretty good job. They're not even around. I didn't see them at all. She said, they're watching us. I said, where? I don't see anything. She said, a good couple of 100 feet. Look up on the sand dune, and there's guys with binoculars. I'm sure it's them, and they're watching us. And it really was them. I mean, but they gave us plenty of elbow room, and that's what I asked for. I don't want cops and marshals, and I don't want people around me. I want my wife. I want to relax. I want to chill. I don't want to have people around me. And they backed up really, really good. One night they made reservations in this restaurant. Really nice place. Seafood type of place. It was really nice. So we went there, and we had reservations. We went in. We used the phony name, and they sat us at a table. The place was crowded. It was beautiful. In the parking lot, there must have been 4, 5, 6 marshals sitting out there. You could see them sitting by a van, a couple more sitting by a car. So we ordered with the waiter, and my wife said, I feel sorry for them. Why? I mean, all day they're around us, now they're sitting on the car. You know, must be rough doing this kind of work and protecting people, doing all this stuff. So I said, well, that's what they get paid for. They're marshals, that's what they do. She says, let's order something for them. What are you talking about? We're in a restaurant. They're in the parking lot. The waiter came over, and she grabbed the waiter, and she says, she has the menu in her hand, she's ordering all kinds of shit. I said, Deb, what are you doing? She says, let me do this. All right, go ahead. She tells the waiter, give me all of that now in a cardboard box. I'm going to bring it to my car, and then we'll give you the order that what we're going to eat. I said, all right, go ahead, do it. She gets this whole cardboard box. I mean, a big, all kinds of stuff she ordered. I think she spent about $400 or $500. And she's walking out of the door with this cardboard box into the parking lot. And I see the agents getting up and walking over to her. They don't know what's going on. She's bringing them fucking food. She feels bad for them. The table next to us, there's a guy and a woman. The woman turns around and says, your wife is really a good woman. I didn't even know how to answer this. I'm looking at her. You know my wife? Real low. She ducks down a little bit, a low voice. Sammy, me and him are U.S. Marshals. We got you. Wow. They had me good. If something would have happened, I didn't even know they were sitting right next to us. 2 armed U.S. Marshals, a man and a woman. I tell my wife, we had laughs with it and everything. The next day after that, they made arrangements for us to go to this Sea World where dolphins jump out of the water, whales or whatever. And I see them congregating and they're trying to make plans on where to sit. They can't get seats in different spots close to where we're going to sit. It's going to be pretty crowded. So I walked over and I said, listen, why don't you just get a group together? We all know each other now. I'm cool with you guys and women. You could put a couple in front of me, a couple on each side, a couple in the back so you're happy, and we're all together. We'll go in there like family. We don't have to do any sneaky shit. Okay, great. That's what we did. And we had a blast. We really did. We had a good time. It was actually more fun with them than without them. We're going to leave and go back to the hotel. The female U.S. Marshal was sitting next to us, and then she was sitting next to my wife the whole time at SeaWorld and says, Deb, you want to come with me? And there was another female. So she said, yeah. She turns around to me, I'll meet you back at the hotel. So I got in the car with the guys. I said, see what you did to me? Now I wanted a nice secret meeting with my wife. Now she, look at her, she left me. She's with all the girls. They were laughing and joking. So it was a great time. So that was my time with the U.S. Marshals, and that's what I did first. That was my deal. I wanted these people to do those 3 things for me, and then I would go in the program and do whatever the fuck they wanted me to do. And they lived up to their agreement in a good way. I know some of these marshals are definitely probably alive. They're not much older than me. And some of them guys and the women, if you are listening to this, bro, I want to thank you once again for a great vacation coming out of prison. I appreciate what you guys did. You're good guys. You're warriors. Not only the men, you women too. So that was my experience. And then I went on after that, and I went into the program. It was a pain in the ass. I stayed there 8 months, a million rules. It was altogether different. They lived up to their obligations. Now I had to live up to what they wanted me to do. I did that the best I could. I'm going to tell you one quick story. When I left the program, a lot of you guys know what happened in the program to me. I did a video, but nobody knows this one. When I left the program, They wanted me to sell my car, so there's no trace of where it came. They have a dealer, walk in there, he'll pay you for the car. I paid $20-something thousand for a Jeep, Cherokee Jeep or something like that. So I said, listen, I just bought this car. And I bought it with a few thousand they gave me, but most of the money was my money. I says, I'm going to take a tremendous loss. Don't worry about it. Whatever you lose, we'll give it back. So I said, all right. They take me to this dealer. I go in. They didn't know him. I thought they knew him, but they didn't know him. They just know he buys the cars. So I brought it in, and I said, I want to trade this in. I'm in the construction business. I'm going to leave out of the country. I bought this. This thing came up. I got to sell the car to you. And they're sitting with me. So the guy said, okay, you're going to lose about $4,000 or $5,000. I said, yeah, don't worry about it. The company will pay for it, the difference, and just let's sign the papers and give me a check and whatever. The guy walks away. I'm getting this approved and taken care of, and he starts talking to me, the salesman. He says, you got a New York accent. I said, yeah, I'm originally from New York. I left a long time ago, but I can't get rid of this accent. He says, great. I know a lot of people in New York. He says, I got some guns, rifles, and stuff that are not, there's no serial, and I'm saying to himself, this guy's committing suicide. He just doesn't realize that these two fucking guys sitting with me are marshals. I try to shut him up. So I said, listen, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear it. I'm not interested in guns. I'm not interested in this and that. And he continues on, this stupid fuck. And he wants cash under the table. He's committing suicide every 3 seconds. He don't know me from a fucking hole in the wall, and he's telling me all this stupid shit. He gets up to go back and see if the manager has got the paperwork ready and everything. The marshal says, good try, Sammy. You try to shut him up. We're not going to arrest him. We're U.S. Marshals and we work this program. We can't identify ourselves unless it's a life and death situation. We'll tell the cops about him, that he's selling guns, but you try to shut him the fuck up, and he didn't buy it. And we laughed a little bit. We got in the car and we go. And then we're going to go on to other things. And so I said, listen, you got to do me a favor. What? Don't lock this guy up. Don't do nothing. You said you're not supposed to get involved in nothing. Don't get involved. If I'm going to find out if this guy gets locked up for this conversation, I'm going to talk about the program and you guys and what happened exactly. You can't do that. Then you can't lock him up. It didn't happen, this conversation. Come on, bro. You're not a walking cop. You're not a regular cop. You're a U.S. Marshal. You didn't hear this shit. You were protecting me. All right. Now you guys, I bluffed. I never found out if the guy got arrested. I wouldn't have known if it did or didn't. But if you didn't lock him up, I appreciate it. I'm talking to you guys. And I'm not going to say your names because maybe people will take a fucking fit. So nobody will know who the fuck you are or whatever. But I want to thank you guys too if you're listening to me. And that was my time. I already told about when I went to Boulder, Colorado. I'm not going to go through that again. So what I'm going to say, especially to my Hispanic friends, matter of fact, I got a Hispanic guy working for me now. Adios, motherfucker.